You know what I mean? It's
sure.
They're right there.
But look, everybody, whatever it is, whatever you've done first off, always realize you are usually fleeing wherever you were, because wherever you were, you fucked up. You and your ilk fucked it up, and now you must flee.
Start anew. And
the idea isn't flee and recreate exactly what we'd fucked up somewhere else. It is flee and join a system that is prosperous, which does not mean you cannot eat your native dishes on a Sunday evening, and it doesn't mean you can't pray to your God, and it doesn't mean you can't wear your ceremonial garb 3 times a year during whatever you celebrate, you celebrate. But in general, it means join, and I say this all the time. It's one of these things where, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, somebody said, well, how about English only in school? And all the usual fucks had this loud chorus of, no, how dare you demand that these Spanish-speaking kids, they speak Spanish in the home. How dare you demand that they learn English and speak English in school, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's to help them, asswipe. It will help them, because they'll never be able to be Donnie Deutsch out here if they don't speak the language, or they don't have a good grasp of it. The guy who's working at Amalfi parking the cars is 52 years old, and it's because he doesn't have a very good grasp of the language that he's relegated to parking cars, not doing something that we'd all want our kids to be doing when they're in their 50s, running an advertising firm or working in a doctor's world or something like that. So this thing of, why are you punishing these people? Well, first off, it's not punishing them any more than it's punishing your kid to say, eat your cauliflower, get some exercise, study hard. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's not punishing them. It's to benefit them. Number one. Number two, look, I'm not putting it up to a fucking vote. We built we're all just washed up on the same beach. A group of us went over to one side of the beach. We built a campfire. We built a hut. We have some running water. We have some sewage. We built some schools for the kids, and we built a little nice thing for ourselves. You guys were getting in fistfights, raping each other, and set your village on fire. Okay. Cut the heads off, threw them in a fucking duffel bag, paid off the guards and paid off the fucking politicians, and now your encampment has turned into a flaming piece of shit.
It sounds like you're describing my podcast and your podcast.
That's why I'm looking at you. Okay.
Was that not clear to everyone?
Now, if you would like to come over here and say, hey, Adam, could I come on to your podcast, and may I be a guest on your podcast, and in turn you'll get a couple of plugs, and we'll play nice, then by all means. But if you come over here and demand that you take over my podcast, and then you chain yourself to the vending machine and go, I'm going on a fucking hunger strike until you recognize my podcast. And by the way, my podcast, we only do impersonations. So you can't do my podcast, or I insist on your podcast, you only do it as Trump. Well, then fuck you. Go back to your shitty podcast.
Yeah.
And here's the good news.
Every Tuesday on iTunes, people.
The good news, everybody.
You plugged your shitty podcast.
We have a nice little village over here. And we're pretty inclusive, because we built a village of folks that come from all different villages. Yeah. But they came in, they assimilated, they joined in. Nobody told them to get rid of or burn the flag of their former village. We simply said, here are our customs, here are our rules, here's what makes... the reason we're successful is because we put an emphasis on this. We don't tolerate a lot of that, and things generally work out better in our village. That is the only prerequisite to coming to the village, in my mind. And the good news is this will help you flourish in our village. But we've decided this is not going to work. It's a crazy pills thing where you come over here or over there or wherever you're going to because your place is fucked up, and then you demand that you have the right to recreate your place in the middle of the place that is not fucked up. And, or by the way, how long before that place then becomes fucked up when you recreate it with all your fucking horrible ideas that fucked up your village. Jesus Christ. We used to understand this quite clearly in this country. Not so much anymore. And I don't know why. But little things like this will help turn, and it's a wake-up call. But again, it's what the Parisians and the French have wanted anyway, which is just to fucking
get in there.
Yes, the streets are clogged with everyone praying down on their knees on a beach towel, and they're trying to fucking ride a basket with a baguette in it. And by the way, when I go to
exactly what's happening,
when I go to France, I do want to see that. I do. That's what I want. I want the Eiffel Tower and the baguette. That's their culture. I appreciate it. There's many cultures to enjoy.
Is that more gay lingo?
Yeah, I want the baguette and the Eiffel Tower.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just tell me how much it costs.
Mm-hmm. And by the way,
money's no object.
Extra butter, because I'm sensitive from the long plane ride.